The Washington Post obtained radio transcripts and explained the indirect communication between the ESU and the Secret Service through 2 command posts. The article began with a radio communication from Greg Nichol that was received by Butler ESU Commander Edward Lenz at 5:42. Just an FYI, we had a younger white male, long hair, lurking around the AGR building. He was viewed with a rangefinder sighting the stage. We lost sight of him. Lenz was in the Butler County Command Post and used his cell phone to relay this information to Pennsylvania State Police Commander Joseph Olea in the Secret Service Command Post, almost 300 yards away. Olea passed this on to his Secret Service counterparts in the same command post, but it didn't stop them from sending Trump on stage. Police lost track of Crooks for 20 minutes after he was seen with the rangefinder, the transcript shows. When he was spotted again, walking toward the area where he would gain access to the rooftop of what local police called the AGR building, an officer mischaracterized where he was headed, directing his colleagues to the wrong side of the building. Nichol was in another window when he spotted Crooks at 6:02. "Alright, subject is in between the AGR building. He has a backpack," Nichol said. As Crooks moved to climb onto the roof via an air conditioner, Nichol added, incorrectly, "He just went towards the sheets." Lenz once again passed this information on to the Secret Service command post. The message was also passed on to local police units. Lenz radioed Nichol back at 6:07, saying, "They should have a fairly good perimeter. If you get another visual, let me know." Less than a minute later, Crooks was spotted again, this time up above. "Someone's on the roof," a local officer radioed at 6:08 p.m. "I have someone on the roof with white shorts." Lenz, monitoring ESU and police radios, radioed back to clarify, "We do not have assets on the roof. That is not us." At 6:09, he called the Secret Service command post for a third time to let them know. But he doesn't appear to have gotten back to Nichol to let him know that the person he's been looking for, the person he took photos of, the person he saw aiming a rangefinder at the stage that he's been speaking to Lenz about over the radio, is likely on the roof right next to him. Why on earth wouldn't Lenz radio back the tactical channel to inform Nichol and Mirko and let them know where Crooks was? He last spoke to Nichol about the shooter at 6:07 and was informed there was someone on the roof at 6:08, and there is no public record of him ever telling his snipers about it. Nichol apparently spent the next 3 minutes away from his post as Crooks moved along the roof and prepared to assassinate Donald Trump. Mirko was apparently on the second floor the whole time and was never told by Lenz to look out the windows. A Secret Service team turned and set up to aim at the building about a minute before the shooting, but Donald Trump was left in harm's way on the stage. Around the same time is when people just outside the open windows shouted about a man on the roof. 30 seconds before the shooting, a police officer tried to climb onto the roof, but quickly dropped down. "He's armed," the officer said, according to the transcript. "I saw him, he's laying down. He's got a long gun," the officer said again into the radio. Lenz didn't call the Secret Service command post back for them to take Trump off the stage. He instead radioed the Butler County Quick Response Force to get them to move all the way over to the AGR building, but it would take them a very long time to get there. They were blocked by fencing, which needed to be smashed into with a vehicle after the shooting. Some found it quicker to drive around the block to get to the AGR complex, while Nichol and Mirko were already there. But they were all on the same radio channel, so these snipers behind the shooter should have heard the message about a long gun on the roof. While Lenz was passing on the directive, he interrupted himself. "Shots fired," he said at 6:11 p.m. Around 20 seconds after the shooter was killed by Secret Service snipers, either Nichol or Mirko finally sees the shooter on the roof and says to Lenz, "Shooter is down. 10 Sierra 3, shooter is down." Local CS2 refers to Nichol throughout this report, but 10 Sierra 3 is Mirko's call sign. So either Nichol used the wrong call sign or the report meant to say CS1 for Mirko instead of CS2 here. But one of them could see the shooter. Lenz replies, "Command copies. Shooter down." So to the question this documentary has focused on, could these ESU snipers in the AGR building have stopped the shooter on the roof in front of them? The answer is definitively yes.